So I'm about to tell you something a little strange. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is almost exactly the same as the original, but it does come with new content in an expansion sectioned off from the main game. That's the quote-unquote plus Bowser's Fury portion of the package. And you should absolutely buy Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. You just shouldn't buy it for any of the Bowser's Fury content. Wait, I'm telling you to buy a game for potentially the same experience you had on the Wii U? Yep, absolutely. Let me explain. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is actually two different games crammed into one package. The first screen that loads up emphasizes this right away, as it splits the screen in half and gives you a choice. Play the Super Mario 3D World game, or play the Bowser's Fury game. Nintendo's advertising heavily emphasized the Bowser's Fury content, which makes a sort of sense. After all, the new stuff is supposed to be the incentive for returning players to repurchase the game, right? But the reality is this. While Kaiju God-slaying Bowser versus Super Saiyan Cat Mario was cat littering the internet, Nintendo should have probably pumped up the other half of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, because there are two key changes they made to Super Mario 3D World that greatly enhance it overall. The Super Mario 3D World portion of the package takes the classic Mario game formula and applies it to 3D, meaning in this game, you use 3D Mario game controls, like long jumps and butt stomps, to navigate through courses towards the end goal, the iconic flagpole. Throughout the courses are hidden collectibles, like stamps and green stars, that unlock special courses and minigames on an overview world map. Towards the end of each section is a castle level with a big boss and a Sprixie to rescue. Those are the little fairy things that Bowser captures at the beginning of the game. You do this all while collecting power-ups, like the new cat suit, to change Mario's abilities. While you can only rotate the camera a little for each level, and you don't have every 3D Mario game move, the gameplay works to a brilliant effect. Each level takes Nintendo's sharp show-don't-tell game design philosophy to the max. The beginning of levels showcase a game idea and let players test it in a safe environment where they can't die. The mid portion of the level adds complications to that gameplay idea, and the final portion is a test gauntlet featuring all complications introduced in the level. Super Mario 3D World creates an exciting gameplay loop and applies it to Nintendo's typically polished aesthetics. Each new level's tests and concepts will surprise you at every turn. But the key ingredient to it all? Multiplayer. You'd never expect it, but adding 1 to 3 more players to the screen complicates things quickly. Players are supposed to cooperatively work together to reach the flagpole, but power-ups and coins are limited. The player ahead of the others will move the camera's focus ahead, leaving lagging teammates behind who can hit a button to bubble up and catch up. Each player's individual points are tallied at the end of levels, and the player with the most points gets a nifty crown to wear in the next stage to showcase their Mario dominance. And funniest of all, the run button also grabs other players. Add to the fact that each playable character, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Blue Toad, all have different stats and abilities, and it all adds up to a hilarious balance of cooperation and competition. This is also where two critical changes to the Switch version come into play. These changes radically change the experience, and, in my opinion, make the entire purchase worth it. To start, the gameplay is faster in every aspect compared to its Wii U counterpart. Characters move noticeably faster, as do enemies and obstacles. It just adds to the hilarious chaos multiplayer offers, as players have to hone their reflexes even more to survive. Secondly, and more importantly, you can now play the game online with friends. How this wasn't mentioned in any of the advertising is baffling, considering how much that radically opens up the multiplayer experience to everyone, especially during these pandemic times. When I played online in a demo Nintendo hosted for journalists and influencers, I noticed a tiny bit of input delay, but the gameplay never stuttered or lagged, meaning once I got used to the delay, I was able to compete with others effectively. It was also really easy to join the online session. While only the host player is able to save any progress made in online play, this downside is outweighed by what I found to be one of the better online experiences Nintendo's had to offer. Multiplayer is definitely the right way to play the game, as it allows for so many opportunities for unique and creative experiences. Just try playing with your own custom rule sets, like a game where one person's job is to constantly sabotage the others. Or a game where one person has to carry Luigi at all times, and you restart a level if Luigi dies once. The The Wii U was not the success Nintendo was hoping it'd be, so it's satisfying to see one of the best multiplayer entries of the system find a second life on the much more popular Switch, even if not a peep of the actual content of the game has changed. This, unfortunately, leads us to what I believe to be the downside of this package. If you think the additional content Bowser's Fury provides is what makes Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury valuable, I encourage you to reset your expectations. Bowser's Fury feels more like a testing ground for the next 3D World entry than a fully developed game by itself. I went into the experience wanting to like Bowser's Fury. The setup seemed pretty good. Bowser's been corrupted by this black ink that looks straight out of Super Mario Sunshine, and coincidentally, Bowser Jr. is also there, hoping Mario can help change his father back. The two tackle a brand new open world, where the coarse world structure of the other game is gone and replaced with a world map where the camera is set free on a 360-degree axis. Bowser's Fury lets two players control Mario and Bowser Jr. as they set about collecting cat shines, this game's equivalent of power stars. Collecting these cat shines powers up lighthouses that further clean up the inky mess and reveal more of the world map. Eventually, you'll hit a cat shine threshold where you can activate the Giga Bell, which allows Mario to go into Super Saiyan giant cat form to battle the massively sized Bowser. You need to fight Bowser multiple times until he's completely and finally restored, meaning this game is about continually searching the world for more cat shines to get further opportunities to fight the giant Bowser. The last wrinkle to the gameplay is a new mechanic that draws inspiration from Breath of the Wild's Blood Moon segments. Every so often, Bowser's shell, which is at the center of the world map, will rise higher and higher until it summons the Knight and the Big Goliath himself. During these segments, Bowser appears to cause mayhem on the map, dropping stone pillars and breathing fireballs. After a short while, or if you collect a cat shine during the segment, Bowser will disappear and normal gameplay will resume. It's a chaotic interlude to break up the otherwise samey feeling gameplay. Mario controls exactly as he does in Super Mario 3D World, while Bowser Jr. has those controls plus a paintbrush swipe attack and the ability to reveal hidden objects using point-and-click motion controls. You can also have the computer control Bowser Jr. and set the amount of help it actually gives you. The power-ups from Super Mario 3D World also appear here. You can find them on the map and by collecting 100 coins, and you can store up to 5 additional power-ups of each variety. The cool thing is you can interchangeably switch between them at will, though you'll almost never be switching off of cat form because it offers the most versatility. And here's where the experience begins to fall apart. To start, the overall map feels like an oversized approximation of one of Super Mario Odyssey's kingdoms. Because of this, you'll want every movement option that Odyssey offered in its gameplay, and more. But Bowser's Fury is using Super Mario 3D World's controls engine, which feels dated for this game's open world ambition. You can't do things every other 3D World Mario game offers, like the triple jump, and you don't have things Odyssey offered that gave you incredible movement flexibility, like infinite rolling or cappy hopping. The fact that this game is a quote-unquote open world is sort of a facade too. It doesn't offer the same interconnectivity or explorative wonder that, say, Odyssey's kingdoms offer, where the discoveries really are exciting and unexpected. Instead, this map feels more like 5 separate Super Mario 3D World levels stitched together in mountain-like zones, with large expanses of water in between. I would go through each mountain zone similarly to how I'd progress through a normal level on Super Mario 3D World, one path through, with very short branches off the main path offering a challenge for an extra collectible. Finally, facing off against the giant Bowser quickly loses its luster, especially when you see it for what it truly is. The game really tries to play up Bowser's menace. I mean, there's even a part in his theme song that sounds like Sephiroth's theme song from Final Fantasy VII. But the battles with Bowser just looks grandiose, simply because it's bigger. The actual fight takes the same Mario boss formula that's been here this entire franchise. Recognize the pattern, wait for the opening, jump on 3 times. In short, the experience falters because it doesn't offer any truly new ideas, and it just doesn't compare to the brilliance of Mario's last game of this variety, Super Mario Odyssey. In conclusion, if you want one of the best and most versatile multiplayer experiences to date for the Nintendo Switch, online and offline, go with Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. But if you're hoping in particular for the Bowser's Fury part to surprise you with new gameplay concepts, look elsewhere. Bowser's increase in size and inky gloss may distract you at first, but it's simply covering up more of the same.